Hello everyone, welcome to Module 5 of ELRC 7551, where we dive into the world of OER and open pedagogy. Today we are exploring educational innovation and how these concepts can transform our teaching and learning experiences. First, let's talk about OER, which stands for Open Educational Resources. It is about freely accessible learning materials that everybody can use. Open pedagogy, on the other hand, focuses on teaching practices that involve students in the creation of knowledge. These ideas aren't just theoretical, but they are practical approaches to making education more inclusive and adaptable. So, whether you're an educator or a learner, engaging with OER and open pedagogy can empower you to contribute to and benefit from a community driven educational environment. So, as we move forward, we are going to dive deeper into how these resources can work and the benefits they bring. So, let's keep all that in mind as we move forward. Open educational resources. It fosters a culture of sharing and innovation, empowering both educators and learners to customize resources. This leads to a more inclusive educational environment, engaging diverse voices and perspectives. Open educational resources are teaching, learning, and research materials that are freely accessible and open licensed. They can include textbooks, videos, and courses that enables educators to adapt and share resources, which enhances collaboration and accessibility for students across diverse educational contexts. What are some of the instructional benefits of OER? These resources play a crucial role in making education more accessible to everyone, regardless of their background. So, firstly, OER breaks down financial barriers, offering free or low cost educational materials. This affordability is a game changer in higher education, for instance, because it eases the financial burden on students and makes learning more attainable. Secondly, open educational resources empowers educators as it allows them to adapt and modify resources to align with their teaching styles and meet their students' unique needs. This customization leads to a more personalized and a more engaging educational or learning experience. Overall, OER not only makes education more accessible and cost effective, but it also introduces flexibility in teaching and learning. These resources are paving the way for a more inclusive and adaptable educational landscape. What now is open pedagogy? Open pedagogy empowers both educators and students by promoting a shared sense of ownership in the learning process. This empowers students to engage more deeply and creatively. The essence of open pedagogy lies in its collaborative nature. This is because it encourages active participation from students, which is crucial for building critical thinking skills and creativity. Through open resources, students can engage effectively and contribute meaningfully to their educational experiences. Moreover, open pedagogy adapts to diverse needs, making learning more inclusive and accessible for everyone. This approach does not just teach, but it invites students to be co creators of knowledge, fostering a lifelong love for learning. So let's keep all of these points in mind as we move forward to discuss the core principles that make open pedagogy so effective. First, we have transparency. This principle is about creating clarity in education. When learners understand the course objectives and assessment criteria, they can engage more deeply and take ownership of their educational journey. It turns abstract goals into concrete steps, which empower students to navigate their learning path with confidence. Next, we have collaboration. This principle invites learners to work together, drawing on diverse perspectives and skills. It is an opportunity to build a supportive community within educational settings, enhancing the learning experience for everybody involved. Collaboration doesn't just add to the learning process, it multiplies its impact through shared insights and teamwork. Finally, sharing resources and knowledge fosters inclusivity and facilitates collective growth. By making educational materials accessible to a broader audience, we are ensuring that learning benefits everybody, thus enhancing the educational environment and fostering a culture of openness. Some examples of open pedagogy. But in open pedagogy, first, students are not just passive recipients of information, they become creators and contributors. They produce and share original content, allowing them to express their unique perspectives and insights. This process is enhanced through peer feedback, which is valuable for students' growth. Open assessments provides opportunities for students to learn from one another and refine their work collaboratively. Next, collaborative projects are at the heart of open pedagogy. They promote teamwork, creativity, and critical thinking by bringing students together to tackle problems and generate innovative solutions. Have you ever experienced a lively discussion around a shared text? That is public annotation, and it can transform these discussions, allowing students to engage deeply with content and with each other. The above examples highlight how open pedagogy empowers students and enriches the educational experience through collaboration, creativity, and shared ownership. When we think about teaching approaches, it is important to recognize the distinction between traditional and open pedagogy. Traditional pedagogy often places the teacher at the center with a focus on delivering content directly to students. In this model, the teacher is the primary source of knowledge and students are expected to absorb this information. In contrast, open pedagogy shifts the focus to collaboration and student engagement. Here, students are not just passive recipients of information, they are active participants in their own learning journey. They collaborate with each other and the teacher, contributing to discussions and creating content themselves. This approach not only enriches the learning experience, but it also fosters a sense of ownership and empowerment among the students. By engaging in open pedagogy, students develop critical thinking and creativity, which are essential skills in today's world. So as we move forward, we could ask ourselves how can we incorporate more elements of open pedagogy in our teaching practices to enhance student engagement and learning outcomes. Speaking now of the current state of open educational resources and the implementation status at the University of Goya. Right now, there is some movement towards the adoption of OER with instructors sharing lecture slides and handouts. However, full course adoptions are still very limited. One of the main challenges we face here is the intermittent internet and power supply, along with limited institutional policies supporting open educational resources. These factors could really hinder the process. So, what practical steps can we take to move forward? First, we can create a lightweight departmental open educational resource folder featuring editable files. This will make it easier for everyone to access and use these resources. Next, we could pilot an open textbook replacement in the large enrollment course. Think of it as a test run that could lead to broader adoption. Finally, offering short workshops on licensing and low bandwidth open educational resources remixing could empower instructors with the knowledge they need to effectively use OER. By taking these steps, we can start to overcome our current challenges and enhance the educational experience for both instructors and students of the University of Wales. Now, some of the practical steps we could take. First, we can create and share modular, offline-friendly, open educational resources. We'll think about PDFs and compressed media that are easy to access and use. This approach makes our resources adaptable and accessible even with internet limitations. Next, we could consider using maybe USB drives or local intranet mirrors. These alternatives ensure students can access materials when the internet is unstable, thus supporting consistent learning opportunities. Finally, with the pilot course, we could gather students' feedback and document outcomes carefully. This evidence can be used in building institutional support and demonstrating the value of open educational resources. So, by taking these steps, we not only enhance educational access, but we also foster a culture of collaboration and innovation. Let's move forward, let's move forward together, making education more inclusive and resilient thanks to this open pedagogy and open educational resources. Today we are going to, we are going to discuss copyright basics. So, copyright laws play a crucial role in protecting original works, which is incredibly important for both creators and educators. One of the tools available to us is Creative Commons licensing. These licenses offer a flexible framework that empowers creators to adapt and redistribute educational materials. This not only fosters collaboration, but it also enhances learning opportunities. Understanding copyright is more than just a legal requirement, it is a gateway to innovative teaching. By navigating these laws effectively, educators can promote the use of open educational resources and embrace open pedagogy practices. This approach ensures that we remain compliant while continuing to push the boundaries of creative and collaborative education. When looking for quality open educational resources, we'll start by focusing on reputable repositories. These platforms ensure that the materials are vetted and um, specifically tailored for educational use. Peer reviews play a critical role in this process. When resources are evaluated by experts, their credibility and reliability increase significantly. Finally, accessibility is a cornerstone of effective open educational resource selection. Resources should be inclusive and designed to accommodate diverse learning needs. This ensures that all students, regardless of their circumstances, have equitable access to educational content. We have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. I hope it provided you with valuable insights and might have maybe sparked some ideas on how to incorporate open educational resources effectively in your educational settings. So see you next time.